Traditional owners and custodians of the land in which this stream is produced. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past and present.
One of the most coveted singles events in the country is the Australian Indoor Championships, and that's where we find ourselves at Club Tweed for the 2025 edition of the event. This event pits 32 bowlers against each other in a knockout format after a grueling qualification process, and we can't wait to see who the end victors will be. But until then, we've got to get through the preliminary rounds, and we start with the round of 32 here at 8 a.m. on Monday morning, as we always do. Val Febo here with you on Ringside Live for the clash between Reese, the 2023 runner-up, and Sandra Tillson of City of Geelong in Victoria. And alongside me, a man who, well, I wouldn't really rather have anybody else beside me, is Troy Corber. Welcome.
Thanks, Val. Thanks for having me. Good morning, viewers. Looking forward to some magnificent bowls over the next few days.
Yeah, great to be here. And we get a little commentary booth up here at Club Tweed. It's a fantastic event. As these players get started, they have started a little bit early, actually, after the roll-up ends. So we weren't actually made aware that they were starting early, but we are on the board for the opening end. And Reese with the purple Drake's Pride Conquest. We'll get to her a little bit later. And then we also have Sandra Tillson with the purple and Reese with the white. Sandra from City of Geelong. So the bowls match the outfit. Purple on purple.
She's done beautifully there. And she's done beautifully with the first bowl too. Nice little settler there.
So if you weren't aware of the format, 2 sets of 9 ends. And then if those sets are split, 3 end tiebreak. There is no time limit. And of course, because shots up don't matter, it's all knockout. Means that if you're 4 ahead with an end to go, we don't have to play that final end. We had an issue last year where Cohen Litvin and Tristan Smallercombe were playing each other, and Cohen actually let Tristan play the final end of the opening set. He got his eye in and then ended up winning the match.
Just trying to finish here for Reese. She's not going to quite get there. But a handy second. Shot bowls around 2 bowls short. Right.
So lots of other matches going on. We've got 6 on this magnificent indoor facility at Club Tweed this morning, and we'll go with round of 32 matches all day up until the 6 p.m. time slot later this evening. This is always a very big day, day one of the Australian Indoor Championships. I remember back in 2022, I felt for Lachlan Williams and Clive Adams because I was actually travelling through Europe after the Com Games, but it was a round of 64 because they had to get through the 2020 and the 2021 qualifiers as well as 22. That was a very big day, and that is a big bowl from Reese to start things off. Made a barnstorming run in 2023 all the way through to the final. Went down to Samantha Atkinson that day.
So Sandra's had to switch back over to the backhand side. She's gone backhand, forehand, now back to the backhand. It's not tracking too badly. It's a mighty effort. It's just not going to quite stop for her. Chance for Reese to add to the count. Pretty much the same bowl as the last, and she's in. On a reasonable track. Close.
So, opening end, we feel as though we'll go the way of Reese Fin-Young. We'll just get the adjudication because we know cameras can be deceiving. And it's 1 to red, which is 1 to Reese Fin-Young. So the red paddles will be for Reese, the blue for Sandra. 1-0 after 1. And in that 2023 run to the decider, Reese took down Nicole McKenzie, who's a very good bowler from Victoria Dandenong Club, in a tiebreak, 5-0 in that 3-end shootout, and then defeated Lisa Featherby, Western Australian stalwart, who is in this draw today as well. Then Nicole went from Aberfeldy in Victoria as well in the quarters and took down Kay Moran, Commonwealth Games semi-finalist from Scotland and plays out of New South Wales. I think she was at Victory Sports, I believe, which is where Lee Greening, the bowls coordinator from Sandra Tillson's old club, City of Geelong, has now gone. I think he starts today, possibly.
3 degrees of separation, hey?
Yep.
Kevin Bacon effect.
Yes. So, Lee, if you're watching, good morning to you. And then the final for Reese Fin-Young was against Samantha Atkinson. Samantha winning that 10-5, 9-4.
Yeah, it was a great run, great tournament for her. Really brought her onto the map, really.
Well, she'd come on in the junior sense because she managed to win the Australian Open under-18 title that year, as well as going on to win the Nationals later that year as well. So she had really started to dominate the under-18 side of things. But this put her on the map from an Open point of view. We do apologise. Just a jumpy little camera there.
Handy trail. As we see on the indoor carpets, the jacks do spring a bit, so her bowls are around 18 inches short of the jack. A good second bowl there from Reese. Looking for something user-friendly. Ooh, a little further on the front would have been nice. Merimbula Bowls Club, home of the Dolphins. Another Dolphin at the other end of the ring. Glenn Clinkett from my neck of the woods, Paradise Point, playing today. So if I go missing, it's because I'm getting distracted seeing how Glenn's going over there.
Reese has attributed a lot of her success to former Jackaroo Michael Wilkes, who has done an abundance of work with her at Merimbula. Help her get to the point in her career, or this point in her career, and Michael does a lot with Bowls New South Wales and the junior program as well. Great fella. Good morning to Michael if he is watching, and I'm sure he will be. Reese no longer part of the under-18s sector of bowls. She passed over that now and have to make it in the open arena, which she's definitely doing, playing for New South Wales under-25s in the recent series against Victoria. She's holding a good 2 here, the New South Wales product. This event, of course, the defending champions and top seeds will be Kelsey Cottrell in this women's singles draw and Jack McShane in the men's singles. Came here last night, came here in the afternoon, setting up. Jack McShane rocks up. His first bowl was a toucher.
That's a good effort.
And has she cut it down here, Sandra? Or has she made it herself? She has.
Great shot.
Really good effort from the Victorian. one apiece. After 2 ends here at Club Tweed. 2 ends out of 9, and we'll have 2 sets of 9 ends, and then 3-end tiebreak if required. Right at home, Jackaroo, Jamie Lee Warsnop also on this green as well. She was just in Dandenong for the series against Victoria. And we've been alerted to the fact that she's hurt her leg, unfortunately, trying to run away from, and she did give me the permission to name and shame Corey Wedlock and Carl Healy trying to spray water at her. She tried to run off, and then her leg went into full spasm. Apparently was given Oscar for best performance, but she said she'd never been in as much pain. So hopefully Jamie Lee's leg is okay. Really interesting start. Reese has seemed to control both of the heads that we've had, Troy. But Sandra finds herself at 1-all. Has played in a Trans-Tasman before. It's donned the green and gold. And took a break from bowls for 17 years before deciding to come back to the sport. And she picked up exactly where she left off. Was runner-up in the state fours this year for Victoria. And we're in Victoria.
And she's got a nice deliberate approach on the mat.
Yeah.
Nice steady head.
That's not bad at all. One sort of just in front, one behind. I must say, now we talk about preparation. Troy Corber has arrived. He's got papers. He's got spreadsheets.
I've been doing a bit of stat work today.
You actually are. This is a statistician's dream.
Just going to keep a little eye on effective rates and influence of the first bowl. And we know, obviously, in singles, nailing that first bowl can make such a big difference. Sandra's piling it on here. Wants it to get right back to the jack. It does. That's magnificent. A little bit of spray for her efforts as well. So big bowl here for Reese now. She's not without a chance. Does not want a hole. And gets a hole. Oh, unlucky. It's in the area. It'll be interesting to see what Sandra does here. She might elect holding 3 to get around the back. Shot bowl's pretty much right on the jack, so any contact, it's going to go pretty much straight down the line, that jack. Looks like she's electing just to add another one in. And she's very, very close to doing that. She has. That's going to be the full count.
That is an exquisite end. I don't know if it's quite 4, or is it?
Yeah, I reckon it's 4.
It is. Yeah, I was looking at that wing bowl there, but Mark is saying that is the full kettle of fish, and let's see what Reese Young can do. Well, this is why she's become who she is, because of pressure bowls like this. Dave Stockham watching on, national selector and former Jackaroo. So he'll be interested in this bowl, and he'll be statting it as well, I reckon, Troy.
Big weight.
Oh, she's going to hit something, I think. Just the one almost came through on the jack. But Sandra Tillson makes her move in this opening set. 3 shots to 1 after 3 ends. Very enjoyable start to this contest, and Sandra has shown exactly why she's reached the heights that she has, played at Trans-Tasman, and also, as I said before, runner-up in the Victorian State Fours earlier this year. City of Geelong Bowling Club, a wonderful club down in, call it the City by the Bay. Sandra will just go and retrieve a bit of spray that was dropped by the marker. But, yeah, it's a great club down there. A bit of a wind tunnel, and I think we actually brought this up during the Australian, or the School Sport Australia National Bowls Championships. It's still a tongue twister to me, 2 weeks after the event. But, yeah, we spoke about it because we streamed it there last year and how all of the live streaming stuff went whoosh off the table. Up here, there is no chance of that happening.
There's no excuses here in the indoor. No wind, no sun playing havoc.
We're actually in a commentary box here, and we might put up a video of, for those that are not home, this is where we actually stream at the Australian Indoor Championships, because usually you can see us to the left of screen there. We're always in the middle of the rink, but up here, got a nice little box where we can chat and see what's happening all around.
Yeah, no need for the nana rug today, Val.
No. 4 shots to 1 is the score. It's after 3 ends. Do apologise, I think I said 3-1 before, but no, it is 4-1. Still early. And of course, these events are being live scored as well. So if you want to know where your favourite player is at and what they're doing, you can go and have a look at results.bowlslink.com.au in the link in the YouTube description. Not to mention the Bowls Now app as well. So go and have a look at that. Of course, bowls.com.au is where you can get all the latest news and updates from the indoors as well. We'll be posting daily wraps every day until the conclusion of the event.
Great correction here from Sandra. Brilliant. Of course, being sets play, 9 ends, you can't afford to drift out early in a set and be chasing from the get-go. So the multiple from Sandra, 3s and 4s are gold in this sets play.
But then again, sets play, if you get smashed in a first set, so say, when's it mathematically impossible? Say if you're 20-0 down, that's when it absolutely becomes mathematically impossible to rectify. Then you go to the next set.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good players mentally who are strong, they can just put that set aside. It's a fresh game, 0-0, and you see games turn so often on a change of set. Well, Sandra's just saying, I'll just change my hand and draw a toucher. She's feeling very comfortable out there at the moment. She's holding 2.
That's funny. I was having a think about this last week because that's all I do, think about bowls, is you could lose a set 20-0, then win 5-4 and 3-2. So you drop 26 shots, win 8, and you can win the match. So that's all you have to do is just stick to your process, be mentally strong, be mentally up. And that's what Reese is. She was pushed to tie breaks a lot in her run to the decider in 2023. And I reckon she'll be up for the challenge today.
Of course, all these players have come through qualifier events to get here, and then to get to that pointy end. Yes, you've got to play well, but there's moments in a tournament that have to go your way, and when you've got sets play and tiebreakers involved, you need to have that little bit of the rub of the luck with you as well to go with bowling well. And Sandra won't be happy with that. I'm not sure if she was going for a Peter Thompson blocker or not, but
the thing
hasn't done that. So
the target's not really there though for Reese. Like, you can crash into the front, but then again, you're going to have to rely on that spilling onto the jack, then pushing it all the way back without Sandra's going anywhere. So I think this may be a sort of sit and stay type shot for Reese on the backhand.
She does have 2/3, so she might elect to go big. Who knows? Let's have a look.
I think this is sit and stay, wait. urging it. Just underneath. She might find the gap or knock it in. So 2 more to Sandra Tillson, who opens up a 6-1 lead after 4 ends. And if she keeps it at this margin, we'll be finishing this set with an end to spare. Mightily impressive from the City of Geelong Thunder product. Bringing the Thunder this morning in the sunshine at Tweed Heads. Bucketing down yesterday.
It wasn't the best weather over the weekend. We knew you were coming there, so we've turned it on today.
I'm glad. Not that it matters in here anyway. Usually does rain during the indoors, actually. It's always 1 or 2 days where it absolutely buckets down, as opposed to the AO when we're up here and it never rains.
This will come home nicely. Look at this. Cracker of a start.
So the roster of matches that we have for you. Gary Kelly and Kobe Cromie coming up next. That's at 10 a.m. scheduled time. So that's all Australian Eastern Standard. Check your local guides. I'm not going to go through that for you because I know I'll get one of them wrong, I'm sure. Samantha Nerona and Rachel Krebix coming up at midday. Michael Stevenson against Aaron Sheriff at 2 p.m. At 4 p.m, Dawn Heyman against Karen Webber. And then the final match of the day, the defending champion, Jack McShane, up against Daniel Hill, who he's rooming with at the Australian Indoor Championships this year. So that might make things a little interesting.
Jack winning the Nugget recently contested hit right here at Club Tweed out on the greens. Magnificent final against Aaron Tees. Of course, an amazing women's final in that Nugget as well.
We were talking to Jamie Lee Warsnob about that. And yes, 17-24 down against Natasha Van Eldik. Hopefully Tash isn't listening. But that is a remarkable comeback. From 8 or 7 down to come back and win the last 8 shots. Very similar to what Callum Alberti did. Almost the very same day. The day before the School Sport Australia National Bowls Championships, down 2013 against Harry Coleman in the singles final there. Club Pine Rivers, that was also great fun.
Sandra will be wanting to pass the head with this bowl. She's got 2 good ones in the head, positive head to play to.
It's coming.
She's done it well. Look at this.
It's a procession at the moment. Really impressive.
She's in the zone. We talk about being in the zone. Well, Sandra's in it right at this moment. It's forcing Reese to have to sort of scramble and play a little bit of weight. Be up, but be in the head, trying to play 2 shots with 1 bowl, and it makes it very, very tricky. It's a good effort, but I think she'll still be holding 2. 1 and a measure, says the marker.
So where's Sandra going here? There's nothing really beyond the jack, and if the jack does get spilled, that comes into Reese's favour, so you're trying to put one behind here.
Yep, just needs to get the back bowl. Draw back to the line. 3 foot behind. And she's done that pretty well here.
Yeah,
couldn't have placed it better.
That's exactly the shot we were talking about. Because now, if you look at where her bowl is, the jack is sort of only going in that direction through that little gap there. Let's see what Reese Finn-Young has in response. Wanting those conquests to come back, and that's not going to do the trick. So, is this going to be a 1 or a 2 to Sandra Tillson? We know she's going to extend the margin, but by how much?
I like it for 2.
I'm going to say 1. No, 2. And Sandra Tillson moves to an 8-1 buffer, scoring pretty much in multiples, just the 1 single for her in the second end. But 8-1 after 5. This first set slowly but surely getting away from Reese Young. It's one of the things that you probably can't hear it in the commentary box, but we can. Tweed heads always play the 80s bangers when we're here. Club Tweed, I don't know who's on the DJ or who's on the DJ booth, but I don't reckon you hear any songs from the 2000s. It's always 80s and 90s.
Yeah, no complaints here. We started the day with a bit of Prince. That was good. Sandra's partying like it's 1999. Doing it beautifully. Sandra operating at 70% effective rate at the moment. Reese at 55%. That's reflecting in the scorecard at the moment.
I've been hearing things about effective rates with you, Troy. Apparently you played a bomb on the weekend for Paradise Point.
Rumours.
Yep.
How did you hear about that?
I have my sources. Did you play Helensvale?
No, we played Broadbeach.
Broadbeach, okay. I have heard through the grapevine, maybe on the YouTube comments.
Oh, is that right?
Joe Franzi.
Yeah, it was. Oh, yes. Yeah,
Good morning, Joe.
Had the pleasure of playing Joe. Lucky enough to count with my last bowl to win the overall for the side. We won't talk about the fact that in the 8 ends previous to that, I was lucky to have had one within about 8 feet. But pulled one out right when we needed it. And Reese needs to do that at the moment because this set is slipping away.
Still 1 to Sandra Tillson here at 8-1. If she does get a couple more, she could even end this with 2 ends to spare. Played 5.
She's heard the coffee's good. She wants to get down to the cafe.
No, coffee here's not bad. Club Tweed.
Still a bit of room here for Reese. Weight's been pretty reasonable. Just needs to find that line. That's the concerning thing. If you're struggling a little and your opponent's on top, if you haven't got the line, you tend to try and search for it, and it's a lovely little user-friendly rub there. There you go.
Just a bit of luck.
Maybe that's what she needs.
Yep.
And if Sandra fails here, she's actually got an opportunity to make a bit of a score here, Reese. So this is an important bowl from Sandra. She's roughly in the area. Kicks a goal. Kicks truly. So, Reese, 2 feet of weight outside of her own bowl. Makes 3 here, potentially 4.
Could open the set right back up.
And at this stage, needs to chase the shots.
Not sure she's there, Troy.
It's probably a time to come up and have a look at the head, to be fair.
She's on the board, though. She can change the length. Let's see what she does with it. 8 shots to 2. That's after 6 ends of 9 here in the opening set of the opening match of the opening day of the 2025 Australian Indoor Championships. Great to be here at Club Tweed. Welcome to everybody, wherever you're watching from around the world. I'm sure there's plenty of people watching on.
We've been playing quite long ends, close to maximum lengths. So I expect Reese to shorten this right up. She certainly has. This is easily the shortest end we've played. Good 6 to 8 feet shorter than what we've been playing. So this is a chance for hopefully to upset Sandra's rhythm here. Nailing the weight, just missing the line a touch, but it's not a bad opener. So desired result from Reese. So Sandra has dropped that one fairly short. So Reese will want to jump on now. Try and pile some pressure on. Adds to the count, but a lot of room. The way Sandra's been playing, you'd back her in to at least get second shot here. Needs to hurry again, though.
Yeah, this change of length has sort of thrown things off a little bit.
This is a good line. A little bit of a shimmy out there, but it's still going to come back to a good home. Plays her own over. And that's 2. Still very open for Sandra. Coming home nicely.
That is a brilliant delivery. She's just finding a way through, isn't she?
Yeah, unfortunately for Reese, I mean, Sandra's been playing so well, and while she was holding at the head, it was very open.
And
Sandra,
we've seen this morning the quality that Sandra possesses. You can't leave her too much room, although Reese Young isn't far away here. Just going to sneak through the gaps. An opportunity for the Victorian to add in a second and extend the margin to 8 with 2 ends to play, which would make it mathematically impossible for Reese to win. She can tie it up with 2 full counts, I might say.
Well, this is close.
Sandra Tillson doesn't want to affect it too much, and that is absolute perfection. That'll be 2. And it's 10-2 after 7. First set looks like it's going to go the way of the Victorian unless Reese Young can pull out 2 full counts here. Exquisite bowling from Sandra. But shots up. Doesn't matter as you look at the replay there. There's the first one. Bit of chalk spray. bit of a change in tradition at the Australian Indoor Championships, where it used to be the defending champions that start things off at 8 o'clock in the morning, but give them the benefit of a little bit of a sleep in now. Jack McShane at 6 o'clock tonight. I can't recall when Kelsey's on, but we'll be able to let you know. Yeah, 8 a.m. for the defending champ when it's not as many people, a little bit quiet, but there are a few people in this morning at Club Tweed. Sandra, beautiful start.
Just a foot behind the Jack there. Lovely starter. It's a fair effort from Reese, but she's going to, and unfortunately gets a little touch of the Jack too.
So nothing but a full count will help Reese Finn Young.
So now if you're Sandra, you're just looking at, well, where can I drop 4?
Yeah,
Shots
exactly.
are inconsequential, so it's about making it impossible for Reese to make 4.
And in fairness, I would probably say she's already pretty close to it with where she's put her first 2.
Well, Reese has got to play to her own bowl. If
Yep.
she misses the Jack, she's got to finish with the other one to give her a chance.
And she has.
So that's where Sandra's danger is, and she knows that she's switching over.
Good scoreboard awareness. When you're up by 8, just got to stop the full counts from coming. If she can split these 2 bowls or at least join them. Oh, she's going to finish. That's probably not what she was after.
Leaves it open. Same weight, touch more line, bring that Jack down.
And the thing is, even if it's 1 full count, Reese still needs another one.
She needs to do it again. She's not a long way away here.
Reese Finn Young, she's very close. She
Well,
might have done it.
I think she has. I think she's made 3 there. That's a great shot. Marker's not giving anything away.
No, I think that bowl at the back is still too far away. 2.
2.
Sandra Tillson making its way down. And can she make sure of it?
Yeah.
I think she can. But
That makes it impossible.
Yep. A little positive for Reese, though. She will win this end. Going into the second set, that's all vital. Got through it in just over half an hour. This final bowl makes its way in. And the opening set will conclude with a score of 10 shots to 5 in favour of the Victorian Sandra Tillson. So she makes her move. So we do apologise. The scoreboard attendants are doing the live scoring this morning. So that's why the score is wrong. Well, not blaming them for everything being wrong with the world, but they're doing a few other things out there. So I think Paul Holschke's going to have a chat now. So first set done. They've confirmed that. Of course, our volunteers doing a wonderful job this morning. ITO, scoreboard attendants, Marcus, everyone. Just brilliant. There's the replay of Reese Finn Young's penultimate bowl of the 8th end of the opening set. That's just too good. First set done and dusted. Second set getting underway.
Sandra Tillson operated at 63% effective rate in that first set. Reese Young at 50%. Sandra, first bowl versus first bowl, she won 5 of those 8 ends. That was reflected in the scoreboard, and she starts well here again. Just tracking through a bit, but positive sign there for Reese is she's got the line. She struggled a little bit just to find the consistent line out there in that first set, so at least she's got that part of the game sorted out.
This is where sets play is so good, because in a 21-up game, you know, you're still trying to chase 5 shots if you're Reese, and now you just start afresh. This one, drifting through. At least she's getting things behind now. I think she was struggling with her weight early on, and she started to find it in that previous end. Let's see if it's enough to get her back into this contest and force a 3-end tiebreak. Respotted jacks, of course.
Sandra's asking for the handbrake to come on, but it's funny. Bowls don't tend to listen to you. Do their own thing.
Imagine you found the set that did. You'd never lose again.
That's Walter's next challenge down there at Aero. Remote control. That one's going to go sailing as well.
Just a little bit of annoyance with herself there, Reese, with her bowls cloth.
Sandra can draw a touch here. She only needs to trail that jack maybe 6 or 7 inches, and she makes 4 here.
Not sure she's there. She's coming. It's trying.
It's good enough to count, I think.
Yeah, I reckon it might be. Tell you what, it's probably close for 4 anyway. Nope, still 2. That bowl of Reese at the front there, I think a lot further along than it looks.
Trying to take off this 5 feet of weight that she's had all end. And this one seems to be flying as well. So not an ideal start for Reese. Fresh start, fresh scoreboard, but unfortunately she's going to drop 2 here.
So 2 to Sandra Tillson, picking up where she left off in the first set. 2-0. 8 ends to play in this second. Of course, these matches are all being live scored, so you can go onto the Bowls Now app or results.bowlslink.com.au. Keep in touch with everything that's happening here at Club Tweed. And what a club it is. 4 outdoor grass greens, 1 indoor facility, a bistro. There's a stage up there as well. There's a cafe downstairs.
This club's very nostalgic for me, Val. My grandparents lived just around the corner, and as a young fella, we'd come up on holidays from Tassie and spent many a day here with Nan playing bingo and bowls. And
how'd you go at bingo?
Oh, cleaned up, mate. Absolutely.
Expect nothing less from you.
I'm competitive, even at bingo.
Yep. when it's completely out of your hands.
Correct. You can will it to happen.
Yep.
And Sandra's willing it to happen here. She's nailed that first bowl again.
Competitive as well. Even when it comes to the Thursday Survivor game we play at the office, and Lucas Protopappas absolutely screwed me the other day. Couldn't get the bowl up in the long end, so decided to play a blocker, and I was next after him. I said to everybody, watch me cannon into this bowl. Took a divot off the green at Darebin, which is not looking in its best shape, straight into his bowl. Banning Lucas from playing because you're not supposed to put in blockers in Survivor. It's against the spirit of it.
Sandra out on a great line again here. Conquests, they come late. Look at this.
And that is, well, brilliant. She's on fire.
It's hard to see how. I know it's still early, and Reese has got plenty of opportunities in this set, but Sandra's just playing so consistently. She's in the zone. How does Reese match this? And I think it's early pressure. She's got to start putting some early pressure in the end on Sandra, sorry. It's not a bad effort here, but she's still 2 down.
It's probably the tidiest head that we've seen across the 11 ends or the 10 ends so far. Of course, we didn't play the 9th end of the opener.
She's bowling like a bowling machine at the moment. Look at this.
It is, and I use the word procession in the opening set. It's very much what it is at the moment, but enough of a target for Reese to hit here.
Yeah, she's got to have a go at this.
Can play weight. I've seen it before. And there it is. Oh, doesn't want to knock her own out. Oh, no. Sandra now, if I'm her, are you trying to get one behind here, or where are you putting your next? I think she is changing hands to go behind, maybe.
I'd be going counting at the front. That's where I would go.
Counting at the front?
Yeah. Put a block in, count. Because what's the worst that's going to happen? She's only going to drop 1. Even if Reese gets them all, she's only going to drop 1. So,
well, she's gone a bit quick here. Not sure that's what she was completely after. This is good from Reese. She's only got 1 bowl on the rink. Needs to make sure this is perfect because she's on the verge of going 5-0 down here.
I think it's nearly back to a sort of a sit and stay weight on the middle bowl of those 3. If she catches a little bit of the jack with that middle bowl, it'll go out to her white one. So, not an easy shot to play on the indoor carpet. That sort of couple of yards of weight. That's probably her best chance of making a score. She's certainly brought the weight down. Is it going to bend for her?
It's not. So she'll clear that 4th out, but that wasn't in the count anyway. Radar just not on for Reese Young. 5-0 after 2 in favour of Sandra Tillson. She's bringing the thunder. This is getting precarious.
I think she's told the barista to froth that milk for that coffee she was after.
The rooster? Did you say, or the barista?
Barista.
Oh, I thought you said the rooster.
The rooster.
So what if roosters can make coffee now, apparently.
They make magic happen at Club Tweed, but I don't think they've quite got to that stage yet.
Well, what I'll be doing is getting one of those pies at lunch today, I think, because they make those here, and the sausage rolls.
She's handled these long ends very well. Not far from maximum length. She's found a beautiful rhythm all game over this length. This gives Reese a little look at this one. Needs it to hold on. Just a semi-fixed stance from Sandra. Plants that front foot, and then it's all arm and shoulder through the bowl.
It's been a really impressive display from Sandra Tillson so far. Winner of this to take on Jamie Lee Warsnop or Hayley Manane.
That's better from Reese. Still a bit of room, but at least gets the shot back.
Hayley Manane has actually taken the first set off Jamie Lee Warsnop, the Golden Nugget winner, and right at home Jackaroo. So that could be an upset brewing. She's leading 2-0 after one in the second too, as Sandra Tillson says to her young counterpart, you are going to have to do better than that.
At the moment, it's looking like Sandra's going to get through, and whoever she plays out of Hayley and Jamie Lee, they're going to have to play well if Sandra keeps this up, because it's been impressive.
Well, and look, no disrespect to Hayley and Sandra. You know, Lindsay and I spoke on the right line, Lindsay Clark, about the possible draw matchups, and we had Reese Young and Jamie Lee Warsnop in the second round, and rightfully they would have been the favourites, considering their body of work over the last however many years, 5 or so. But these two, Hayley Manane will keep you updated on that score, and of course you can, if we don't, on BowlsLink or results.bowlslink.com.au or the Bowls Now app.
It's not pretty here for Reese. She's got no choice but to come back onto the forehand. The bowl out there at least gives her a nice little guide to get under.
So next match will kick off as we see a replay there of Sandra's third. Next match kicks off at 10 a.m. Gary Kelly versus Kobe Cromie. That is going to be fireworks and brimstone, I think. Looking forward to it. We know what both possess. Can't wait. Hopefully, if you're working from home, you're watching, even if you're at the office, get your second screen. Or just put it up in front of everybody. Make them watch. Or if you've got the day off, even better.
This isn't tracking too badly.
It's going to find something, maybe. Reese Finn Young. Has she done enough?
Falls back.
It's close. I'm still not sure she's done enough. But we'll find out in a second.
She really needs to hit the scoreboard here too.
6-0 after 3 is going to leave her in a very dangerous position. This is the replay of it. Hooped back late, as those conquests tend to do. Measurement comes out. Sandra not letting us see.
Keeping us in suspense.
Yep, I think that might be one to Sandra Tillson. It is. And she continues this onslaught of shots. 10-5 in the first, and that's after being up 10-2. Could afford to drop a 3 in that last end. It's just sort of plugging those gaps. Now she leads at 6-0 in the second. And Reese needs to be within 3 going into the last end, because a draw in this set will not be enough. Shots up don't matter. You've got to win your sets. That's it. That's all it is.
Well, the bowling machine 5000 just keeps trundling down. Reese needs to get hold of that mat and do something drastically different. That's the problem, is trying to get that mat. Sandra says, well, the game's a bit easy for me, so I'm just going to change my hand and try and do something a bit different.
And she's going to put that right on the tee as well, so that's also handy. And I think what's impressed me most with Reese, and you see a lot of young athletes, and me watching and being around tennis a lot, you see a lot of the younger tennis players just lose their cool. You don't really see it in bowls as much.
All right, this is a lovely bowl coming in here. There you go. That's the one she needed. Good shot, Reese.
And there goes my point. Reese just hasn't lost her cool. There's been an element of frustration, but really, she's kept it together pretty well when things haven't been going her way. And I think, when your opponent's playing this well, it's really hard to be too hard on yourself. But tell you what, Sandra, she's close.
Mighty effort.
Still one to Reese.
See this replay. Just needed another couple of inches on that jack and she would have had shot, but it was a great effort. Gives her a nice shot with her next bowl, Sandra. So important one here from Reese. Get another one in the head. Try and close that hand off if she can. Well, it's not wasted at the back, but there's a nice little channel there for Sandra to work down on. Off her own, sit the shot bowl, trail the jack. Plenty of options.
Not happy with it out of the hand at all, Sandra Tillson. Rolled her eyes.
We saw the roll from here. Tell you what, it's only a bowl and a half wide.
She's going that well. She knows, though.
It's interesting to see what Reese does here. She does not want to lay Sandra's bowl over. But she'll also be cognizant of being 6-0 down. And we'll be at the end of 5 ends here, so 2's going to be handy for her. She's going to get under the bowl.
Close.
Can she get far enough?
She can. That's the one. Leans on her other shot bowl. And a mightily needed end for Reese Finn Young. Says, I'm not done with yet. 2 it is. 6 shots to 2 in favour of Sandra Tillson. Played 4 ends in this second set. 5 to go. The problem for Reese is that she's still down by a full count. A draw in this set, not enough to send it on. First set was won by Sandra, as you can see on the scoreboard there. 10 shots to 5. She's been commanding.
Can we have gone shorter? It's an understatement to say that Reese needed that. She gives herself a chance now. She gets to dictate the length. Put pressure on with her first bowl. She's done that pretty well. It's a good start. Sandra has won the first bowl contest of every end in this set. So Reese needed that one. There you go. Some pressure at the head, change of length. Just needs this to hold on. It's trying to. There you go.
Little slap on the leg there from Sandra, because I don't think she's too sure of this one either. So could this be the end where Reese blows it open? The options are there. And she started very well.
Ideally, Reese would love to nail this jack. Just try and hide it a little bit. At the moment, Sandra's still got sort of an open hand with jack high bowls to play to. She closed the head down a little. She's not going to close the head down, but she's going to count.
Her line has been pretty much the same. And this is where she generally does start to come into things. She finds a way, Reese Finn Young. Quality singles player. Sandra has to be up and has to get something close. This is better. Cut it down to 2.
Nice track. Ooh, Or doesn't want too much of that.
Oh, she's cut her own down.
It's a better shot, but
Just
it's a better one than the two, but she'll be a little bit disappointed. Yeah, the hands.
Yeah, you can see.
But above all, keeping hold of the mat is important for Reese.
It's kind of you got to look at that one with a glass half full. Because I don't think Sandra's there. Does Sandra return the favour? Oh, no.
Not quite, I don't think.
I think Reese still might have it. But that would almost epitomise the morning.
That would have been a heartbreaker.
Yeah. And she does keep a hold of the mat, importantly. That would have been catastrophic. 6 shots to 3. Sandra Tillson leading with 4 ends to go in the second. She won the first 10-5.
And I like this. We're seeing a bit of a mat change. I thought Reese might have done that in the last end, changed the mat position. She has brought it up a fair bit. I think this is good.
What bodes well now maybe for Reese is that these last 2 ends, the first time she's actually won consecutive ends. Have not seen that at all across the 13 that we've completed, apart from 12 and 13. So this is where Reese can really start to zone in possibly.
Yard of correction needed here.
What's Reese got?
Line's great. Counts for now, but it's a lot of room for Sandra.
The way she's been bowling. But Reese will 100% back herself in here. 100%.
Sandra's pretty close here. Yep.
It's going to pull up.
So dropped a foot last time. Needs to drop another foot this time. Just a bit of extra weight. Carries around the outside, so an ideal position at the head for her at the moment. Sandra will look to count behind, cover the trail a little bit, still count. Reese's closest bowl's 2.5 feet away. That's exactly what she's done. That's a magnificent bowl. Look at that.
Just the stamper authority here. Really needed to get a grip, not get a grip, but just get her groove back. Reese is just coming up to have a look. There's a replay of Sandra's last bowl coming in. It's exactly where you mentioned she'd want to put it. Hayley Manane and Jamie Lee Warsnop. Jamie Lee leading 4-3 in the second. It's after 4, but Haley's taken the opening set. Jamie Lee now leading 6-3. So Reese, come and have a look. That's what the head looks like.
It's not pretty.
It's not.
The bowl behind the jack, there is probably a 6-inch gap. So it's not right on the jack. But it's going to take a perfect bowl here.
Just smooth delivery.
Just needs it to bend. Well, she gets use of the outside, but falls out instead of over.
Sandra changing hands. Looking to add a 2. Get the margin back to beyond a full count. Give herself some insurance. Might be underneath here. It's holding. It is holding.
Oh,
and I think she's got enough weight to sit right next to it, and she has. That is a scintillating delivery. And she leads it 8-3 with 3 ends to go. And now it's at the point where a 3 will end the match.
Reese, on the other hand, she's got to keep it positive, so she'll be thinking 3 2s.
And that's more than doable.
Absolutely.
More than doable. It's a nice startup from Sandra just to feel things out. At a foot of correction needed. The 2023 finalist on the ropes. Had a wonderful run through this draw 2 years ago. And it's with bowls like that.
That's the one she's looking for. She's had some good ends coming this way, but she hasn't really nailed the line, so she's been leaving some stuff sort of jack high, and even though the distances mightn't be any different, just from a feel point of view, when you're on the mat at the other end, it just feels nicer if you can see an avenue in, you've got a jack high guide. That's a fair reply.
This is a big carrot dangling for the winner of the Australian Indoor Championships, a chance to go to the World Bowls Indoor Championships in 2026. Kelsey Cottrell and Jack McShane did so this year after winning last year's indoors, and that is a ripper from Reese.
Sensational.
A full count, and I'll tell you what, things are back on. But it's pretty close head.
And probably the first time in the game, to be fair, that Sandra's really been under any pressure at the head with a hard head to play to.
Yeah, it's not much of a target at all. That one almost, but no cigar. Reese just needs to keep putting them in without creating a target. Easier said than done. Yeah, so the opportunity for the winner to go and represent Australia at the World Bowls Indoor Championships next year. Jack McShane winning the singles title this year. What's Reese done here?
It's not bad.
Not sure if she's in for third. but again puts the pressure on, and there's probably enough of a gap there for Sandra to still go through. An end win here for Sandra Tillson could close it out.
She's close. Can she get down? Here it comes. Oh, my goodness.
And I just mentioned there's enough of a gap for her to go through.
Wow. Now, Reese.
What she found. So it's 2. Do you play the shot where you go for Sandra's third bowl or third shot?
Yeah, yes, but only with a few feet of weight.
Yep.
She doesn't need to roll Sandra's bowl out of the head very far. You get a little straightener down the line and move the jack's a good result.
It's coming.
She got the weight.
The line was pretty much spot on, but careful weight there for Reese Young. Doesn't matter, it's 2. And 8 shots to 5. 2 ends to play. Can't afford to lose this end now. If she does, it's over. It's sudden death for Reese Young. Has to win both these ends. But has to win them by scoring multiples. Singles won't get it for you. 3 of the last 4 have gone her way. Momentum starting to come through, and the jack has remained on. But now it comes down to the mental test for Sandra. Reese is throwing everything at her, starting to figure things out a little bit.
Well, the effectiveness rate, Reese is still operating at 50%, which she did in the first set. But Sandra had a tremendous 63% effectiveness in the first set, but she's dropped down to 50 in the second. So,
and that starter from Reese is very, very good.
fair reply coming in here too. It's coming home nicely. Staying on the forehand. Bit of adrenaline in this one, I think, though. I think she's going to lose that. It plonks into the water, into the Tweed River.
Got a nice view of the Tweed, or the little bay that they have up here from the hotel. Opened the blinds this morning just to have a look at what it looked like, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Looks better weight here. Well, it's not shot, but she's got a couple of seconds now.
The problem is they're in front of the jack, but she can play to them.
Spent a good amount of time over that bowl, Sandra. She knows it's an important one. Get another one in the head. Needs to just find a channel. She's done it pretty well, I think.
That is a ripper.
Wowzers.
Reese coming up to have a look.
I can tell you now, Reese, it's not going to look any better from when you get closer either. It's probably, you can see here on the replay, just pick that portal magnificently. As she's had most of the day, great weight.
Just trying to get a gauge in the facial expression of Reese, and she's unflappable as per usual. But this is massive.
Well, it's probably now a backhand shot. Same portal as Sandra. Come in and just sit off that shot bowl at the front. Run her own up. Just over the draw weight. Just a foot of weight.
To keep herself in the tournament. The 2023 runner-up. It's part of the Performance Pathways program. Up-and-coming star. What can she do here? She does not like it at all.
This could be the last bowl of the match.
It's making its way down. And Reese Finn-Young, the 2023 runner-up, she's out.
Sandra straight onto it. She's just doing
knows.
the maths. She's got the abacus out.
And they're going to go make sure of it. Just go survey their head, but that will do it. All that was needed was a 1, but it's going to be a 2. So it's going to be a 10-5, 10-5 victory for Sandra Tillson, who performed extraordinarily well when it mattered. Had the responses. They shake hands, and that is the end of the 2023 runner-up, Reese Finn-Young. Sandra Tillson from the City of Geelong Bowling Club moves on in 2025. She'll play the winner of the Jamie Lee Warsnop Clash. She's taking on Hayley Manane, and Hayley won the opening set, but Jamie Lee leading the second 7 shots to 4. That's with 2 ends to play. So you'll be able to keep updated on that via Bowling or results.bowling.com.au and the Bowls Now app. We'll be back in 45 minutes' time or just under that for the 10 a.m. clash between Kobe Cromie and Gary Kelly. Do not go anywhere because that is going to be spectacular. Big thank you to Connor behind the scenes doing a wonderful job, and Troy Corber, thank you to you.
Thank you, Val.
Great to have everyone's company here. First match done and dusted at Club Tweed. It's Sandra Tillson defeating Reese Finn-Young 10-5, 10-5.